Let everybody get back in. That was my bad. My bad. Okay, I'm not trying that again. Trying to look at this screen. This mini screen from the laptop instead of the TV. Yeah, my bad about that, y'all. My laptop charger wasn't even plugged in. I didn't realize my computer was dead. My laptop charger wasn't even plugged in. I didn't realize my computer was dead. I know. I mean, everybody probably damn near about to go to sleep. Try to wait and see who else to get back in. Nobody else getting. I was just going to continue to tell you the story. Because it's a pretty amazing story what happened to me these last 4 months. Totally something I didn't expect. Oh yeah, man, I apologize for that. Like, to be honest, like I said before, it's never gonna be a time where I'm not working on any content. If I'm not like live or if you don't see any reviews, like I'm usually off camera, like either brainstorming a new idea and I'm writing it out and working on something, or I'm working on a review that's just taking a long time to do. But since we got the live stream technology and all this stuff now, it ain't like kind of how I used to do it back in the day where I just would put out a review randomly. Like now I'm gonna at least let y'all know about it before I just drop it. And a lot of the times I'm actually gonna show the game that I'm reviewing. That's usually in the live stream, so that's usually how you can catch whatever it is I'm getting ready to do. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like recently I haven't really been working on any reviews like that. I did finish that game Crusaders, but I haven't even like finished writing the script because it's just been a bunch of shit going on that I'm about to tell you about. When you say game development, you mean like you're like making your own, you like producing your own games now? Because that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. That's pretty cool, man. That's a really good thing. I always wanted to produce a game, but my idea of like a video game that I would want to make would be really complex. So I know I would need like a development team that would have to help with that. Because I mean, it's probably a bunch of softwares I could play around with and make like a pretty basic game. But for something that I would be thinking about, it would be like some kind of crazy beat 'em up Resident Evil type of game. So I know that would involve a lot of complex stuff that it would have to be like on like a console, I'm sure, and that would be very expensive to do. So that's why I never really went that route of trying to think about making a video game. But I remember when I was in my second year of college, and I remember I had a friend, he had came to me with that idea of like trying to make a video game because he saw I was doing the reviews and stuff, and he thought that might have been a good way to try to like cross market and promote that. But I don't know. It's just so many politics that goes into that. Like, you know, you have to have access to certain, you know, rights to technology and stuff. Like, I mean, if we were living in the 80s and the 90s, then, you know, I probably would be trying to make a video game, because that's what I was going to discuss with y'all for my next review, with the Crusaders review. You know, just doing my research on that, I didn't know that back in the mid 90s, they had a system that was called the, what was that thing called? It basically was like the second version of the 3DO. Like, I had to look at my my script and tell you guys like what the name of that console was. I think it was called the Panasonic M2. But basically, it was like the first video game console that had a DVD player, and it was made in 1996. It was pretty much supposed to be like the second 3DO. It's a pretty cool concept. Yeah, they keep updating it. That's what I was saying. Like, you have to have a team that will, you know, be able to keep up with that, so that you'll be able to meet those demands. And, you know, that's why I just never really tried to really go into the video game development thing, because it takes a lot of money to really do that for what you really want it to be like. But that's cool. You at least have a foundation with it. Yeah, updating the engines and stuff. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, I was going into like how everything has changed. Yeah, I think the last review or the last live I did was when we played Road Rash, I believe. And yeah, man, it was like shit, going into early August, it was like everything just started changing. I remember my car messed up. Like I was telling y'all, my turn signal switch had just started messing up, and during that same week, like I noticed the work orders that I was getting from that Jew I was working with, like they had just slowed up all of a sudden that week, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And then ironically, that week after that, I had got sick really, really bad. Like I had the chills. Like I said, I couldn't eat. I kept vomiting. I think I had caught COVID, but I didn't get tested though. So I don't know if I tested positive for it. But I believe I had caught COVID, because I was out for like 2-3 days. Like I remember one of those days I was gonna go live, but man, I didn't have the energy to even like move like that. I couldn't eat nothing. I couldn't drink. I was throwing up. I had never been that sick before, so I know I caught COVID that week, because like I literally had it. I had the chills, all the same symptoms, and it lasted for about a good week. Like I mean, I wasn't like out of it, but by like that third or fourth day, I was able to start eating again. I was starting to feel myself. But yeah, but for them first 3 days, yeah, that shit was terrible. Yeah, if that's what COVID was, yeah, that shit ain't no joke. Like I don't want that shit ever again. It felt like the flu, but having a cold at the same time, like, because my body was aching. Like that was one of the weirdest feelings in the world. I couldn't smell shit, let alone taste food, dude. I couldn't eat anything. Everything I ate, I threw it right back up. So I was real hungry and thirsty, but I couldn't consume nothing. That shit was annoying as hell. Damn, you said she had her truck. Oh man, that sucked. Damn. It's ironic she had her window smashed out. You know, my window had been broke for like years, and I finally learned how to replace a window. It's really not as difficult as it seems. Saved me a lot of money doing that shit, but that's good. She at least got her truck back fixed. I mean, it's the best thing you could look at it out of. Damn, that sucks. So she had that happen to her this year, and then I had someone hit me and damaged my car back in May, I believe. Yeah, damn, it's just everybody getting over on shit this year. Oh yeah, definitely. I think everybody here is on the East Coast. I know I'm here in Georgia, so yeah. Yeah, man, that COVID, that shit felt horrible. It did. It felt like you said you felt like you got hit by a bus. That's exactly how I felt. It's like my body was so stiff. And like I said, I thought it was because of that accident I was just telling y'all about. I thought that maybe something was like coming back and it was starting to flare up. But no, I think that COVID had got me, because at that time I was cleaning in the little Apple store I used to work at. And I think somebody there had caught it, and they told us about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if I had it. But I know for sure I had that shit. I should have just got tested. That was one of the worst feelings I've ever had. I'm not even gonna lie, that shit there sucks. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I think I caught COVID. That was in August, and then during that same week when I finally got back right, like I was telling y'all, the work orders I had, they had just slowed up, and I'm calling the office trying to figure out what's going on, and I talked to one of the guys, the guy who had put me on the whole opportunity. She was like, yeah, Houdini was angry with you. He said that you guys no longer work together. And I'm like, what? Like, because this shit had came out of nowhere. I had just got a check for damn $1,600 from the guy from some work we did. And this, like I said, the work had just stopped and just slowed up out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and then I called, and I think it was like 2 weeks later, and because I had been trying to get in contact with the guy, he was out of the country. And then when I finally had figured out, well, why is the work slowing up, when I started asking questions, they was like, yeah, he dropped you as a vendor, so he told us not to give you any more because he was very angry for you charging him like money. I'm like, what? So I didn't know what was going on for like about 2 weeks. And then within those 2 weeks, y'all, I had a job I had cleaning at that Apple store where I believe I caught the COVID. And they had just told us out of nowhere. They was like, yeah, like the Apple store, we lost our contract with the Apple store, so you guys are gonna basically lose your job next month, which was in September. But I still had my little maintenance thing that I was doing, and like I said, the guy just came out of nowhere and said that. I'm like, oh shit. So when he got back in the country, I remember the guy was like, he was like, the deal that we had was that you were going to work for $25 an hour. Basically, he had a deal where he thought that because he was paying his licensed plumbers and licensed electricians and stuff for jobs that I couldn't do, he was paying them, basically their regular rates, and then he was looking at the rate that I was charging, and he was seeing that it was nearly the same rates as what these licensed people are doing. But basically, he didn't want to pay. And then the agreement he thought we had was where I was going to get like a third less than what I was getting per job. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I agreed to, but you and I both know that wasn't gonna work out for me to actually do. So, every Friday I just kept sending the invoices in. They kept paying them because they saw we were getting the work done. And the guy was like, yeah, like, it was boiling my skin alive when I kept seeing that, it was this guy named Chase that, we paying out all this money to, and, and my investors were getting really angry about the fact that we have been spending all this money, and it's because of this one guy. And he was saying all that, and that's basically in the end, that was the reason why we lost the relationship, because he thought that I was overcharging him for the jobs, which I really wasn't. But when you're dealing with property management companies, and then them trying to save investors money and stuff, their goal is basically to get cheap labor and get people to do that stuff so that you don't get nothing. But you don't have any, you're not in a union, or you don't have any insurance benefits or any of that stuff when you're an independent contractor, so you really just get screwed in the end. But it was just funny because the guy was like, you literally have robbed my clients of thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I probably made like over $20,000 with the guy in like 7 months. But he says that's robbing his clients, when it's like, dude, we were getting stuff done that you should have been just paying for. I mean, mind you, a lot of these properties we were doing, they were distressed properties that were like 80 years old, where the foundation is like falling apart. The plumbing is all messed up. You can't even shut off the water, at the main line. I mean, these houses were in really bad shape. Some of these tenants, they were living in real deplorable conditions that I told y'all about. And these were ran by a bunch of Jews, and that's how they run their business. So I remember that guy ended up dropping me as a vendor. That happened back in August. So I caught COVID. I had lost my job. I had lost my job back there too, because that happened. And then that's when I going into where I was telling y'all about me moving. I remember that same week I had got a letter on my door where they said that they were going to go into a renovation program in my neighborhood, and they were going to go up on the rent like $500 a month. So that's why I was initially going to move, because I'm like, I don't want to pay that, of course, that much of an increase. But through a miracle, because I was unemployed from that company I was telling y'all I was working with, I mean, I was able to collect unemployment, which, you know, I'm still getting now. But because I faced a hardship, I was also able to take advantage of all the rental assistance that they have out here because of the COVID thing. And also, you know, because I also caught it and had to, you know, had a job and lost it because of that. Like, you know, you actually could get like assistance for that. So, I mean, I got qualified for them to pay up to 18 months of the rent, but they actually ended up, they ended the program here in Georgia because they're only dealing with people who have mortgages instead of like renters. But they paid like 3 months of my rent, so that's allowing me to basically stay here longer because I kind of have to be up here in Atlanta now that I'm about to be doing this this next series with this American demonology I showed y'all about earlier. I kind of need to be up here in Atlanta because a lot of the people I need to interview and a lot of the places I'm gonna have to film at, and a lot of these stories are kind of based on people that I know that's here, but it's also people in Statesboro as well. I'm still gonna go down there, but it just won't be like my permanent residence like it was gonna be initially. Like I was thinking more so to go down there and work on my reviews. Like I said, the Xena review, the Scorpion King 2 review, and the Vice City Stories review. Like all those reviews are still ones that I'm working on. I just haven't had time to really do them like that. But they still coming, you know, y'all. I appreciate y'all for being patient. I just, like I said, have been dealing with that. And then on top of that too, like I'm also like getting more buildings for, because y'all still remember I got my cleaning business too, and I got about like 3 buildings right now that I've been growing. So I kind of need to be here in Atlanta to kind of, you know, expand and manage that. So I mean, I'm probably gonna stay, you know, here and you know, and just get ready to work on this American Demonology series. Oh no, yeah, my tech. I mean, he had to end up getting a job. He said right now because he had he got a felony on him, so it ain't like he could really get a legitimate job. He just pretty much, you know, worked for temp agencies and stuff. But right now we actually got a contract. It's a guy I got to go meet with on Wednesday, and ironically, he knew about the company that I just basically got let go from. He knew about them because they pretty big here in Atlanta because they manage a lot of properties, and he knew about them. So I mean, maybe I'll probably, you know, get on with him and probably you know, get my tech, and you know, we work with that guy if it works out. But it's just, it'd be so much shady stuff with this housing industry stuff, and then with the stuff, you know, with everything going up with the cost of living, you know, that you basically gonna just get paid pennies in that business now. You're just gonna get paid pennies, or you'll be sitting around arguing with somebody for months, you know, until they go on and pay you. That's why I'm glad I got the little cleaning business. But yeah, I ended up getting the assistance. I think also too, like I showed y'all, like with the selling to your independent stuff thing I got on Scorpio&Sebek. I think I also want to do a little thing like where I can show y'all like how to take advantage of like state programs and grants and stuff like that you could get, because a lot of people think that you got to have like a grant writer and all this stuff be real difficult. But honestly, you know, when you're in a point in your life when you kind of need the assistance, it is stuff out here that you can take advantage of, you know, instead of you having this mindset of thinking that, you know, all the government's, you know, making it hard and screwing us over. It is things out here that they have to make things simpler for you. You just got to know about it and take advantage of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I remember when I was younger, I used to always watch these commercials of this guy named Matthew Lesko, and he used to always like wear these question marks and have this like real eccentric loud voice whenever he was talking and stuff, and he used to always say you could get free money from the government, free money. And I used to like wonder, like, how the hell do you get free money from the government? What he meant was that, you know, you could qualify for certain programs and let that stuff pay for what you got going on. I mean, I'm trying to figure out now how I could get some business grants, because I've only gotten like 2 grants before, and they've all, you know, I've all been going on since the COVID thing. But like that's my next thing. But you know, I want to come up with a little playlist where I can show y'all about different programs. It don't really matter what state you live in. I mean, this is all money that all state and local programs have. But I want to come up with like something that I could probably show y'all, like, how y'all could get some money from the government, because believe it or not, that's how Donald Trump and Warren Buffett and all these big people, you think that they got all these millions of dollars. I mean, they don't work. They didn't work to get to that point. So shit, that's they got it honestly by using government money. That's why they stay in politics. I didn't understand none of this shit when I was younger because it didn't have no real effect on me. But I'm like, shit, now that I gotta actually, you know, I'm like, damn, I can't even pay my rent because I got laid off from a job and they paying it. I'm like, well, this shit got an effect on me now. Damn, what is this controller? This controller is fucked up. Man, I ain't played this game in so long. But yeah, they increasing it $500 literally. It's going up to $1,600. Yep. That's everywhere now, though. This inflation made this stuff go up, and that's part of the reason why I probably got let go as a vendor from that property management company. Because again, I mean, their goal is to save money and to get cheap labor, where my goal is to make a lot of money from them and to do less labor, which is what I was doing. And he caught on to it, but by the time he caught on to it, I was already $20,000 up from him. So you know, that's when he really was pissed. I mean, that you guys got to think. I mean, this is a Jewish guy. I remember the guy used to call me and curse me out, and you know, whenever he realized he was spending too much money on the invoices and stuff. So I guess it led up to him, you know, getting mad about it. But I still was charging him. Yeah, but I remember, you know, I ain't no telling how many times that dude called me a nigger. Because I remember that lady was like, yeah, he was pissed. So he probably was in that office calling me all kind of damn niggers and shit. But it's all business. I mean, you know, they screwed us over for fucking years. So a little $20,000 ain't gonna hurt him. Exactly. You work smarter and not harder. But you know what, Alex? That's the part of like why the crocodile is invested. Why I've always used that symbol for my business, because little do people know, you know, that crocodile. I like, me and my brother, we like to watch this documentary called The Last Feast. It's called The Last Feast on the National Geographic Channel, and it kind of shows like how all these animals were trying to survive like during this drought that was in Africa. And the crocodiles, like, you know, like shit, they was getting so bad, like it's so cutthroat, like any animal that was near that water was just getting devoured. So the way I look at it is like, you know, it was just an opportunity. You know, the motherfucker stuck his head in the water. He thought that he was just, you know, gonna get a dumb nigger to go do these work orders and, you know, be driving around in some rusty car, you know, getting $50 a job when I should have really been getting 170 based on what the job was worth. He thought I wasn't gonna figure that out, but once I got him to pay one of them invoices, I just said fuck it, and you know, and I just charged what I feel like was worth it. And sometimes, you know, you go through that in business, you know, where people don't want to pay that, but it's just a little down period I'm having. Like I said, you know, the good thing is that I never screwed up on none of the work. We always did good work. It was just that he didn't want to pay the fee that I wanted to charge. I'm like, dude, I'm not finna drive 20, 30, 40, 50 miles a day doing 5 work orders, and you know, and I'm making a third of what it's worth. Like, that's ridiculous. But you know, that's just what you go through in business. That's why you gotta, you know, always like kind of have what your main goal is. Cause I mean, to be honest, I mean, my whole reason for doing the maintenance thing, and it's kind of reason I'm back into it now, was to get that money so that I could put into this cleaning business and then be able to do this American demonology and these reviews and stuff, which is what I put myself in a position to be able to do now. Because I would have never did that just working a job. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like shit, I'd have made more money than most people I know that I graduated with, you know. And I did that without a degree. I didn't have to have no insurance for that shit or nothing. So it was important that, you know, take advantage of the opportunity when it was there. Yeah, that's how it is though in that construction industry. Because you know, it's a lot of that shit. If you're not like you're not if you're not like a licensed plumber, or you know, you're a licensed electrician, or mainly if you're a plumber or electrician, or if you're a licensed carpenter, you know, you're not gonna be a part of like a union. So you know, if somebody want to just drop you for whatever reason, they could do that. Because in Georgia, you know, we got this law where they say you have a right to work. Like, you know, it's a privilege for you to have a job here. So whether it's independent contract work or you working for somebody, they say it's a privilege. So, you know, you could always get let go for any type of reason. I don't know if it works like that in other states, but that's how it is here in Georgia. Man, this damn YouTube studio sounds so much crisper. And I know soon, guys, what I'm gonna do is get me a frame meister so that I can get this damn shit to look better. Cause I swear, like what I'm looking at on the screen and what I'm looking at on the YouTube studio, it's like the quality is diminished when I have to use OBS Studio. And I hate the way that shit look. Cause it can't be the TV I'm using, and it can't be the capture card I'm using either. But that shit looks so like ugly to me. But yep, that's where we at going into 2023. You know, continuing my cleaning business. And then, like I said, we get ready to work on this American demonology. Now, I'm about to go on and explain what this is about. I mean, you guys know Unsolved Mysteries is like been probably my favorite, most talked about show that I've probably talked about that more than any video game that I've discussed. And like I probably talked about that, Resident Evil, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Grand Theft Auto. I probably talked about those games in that show more than anything in it that I've discussed on this channel. So it has a huge influence on like, you know, my production, like the way that I the way that I watch, like I don't know, like the way I view entertainment. Like it has a huge influence on it. And for years I used to always want to see that show back out. I mean, that's why I did that review that back then in 2010, because I wanted to see it back out. And I know that they got the, you know, the series out now, and it's actually pretty good, because I had to kind of get myself to watch it. And it was pretty good. But when I was watching it, I used to really think to myself, like, especially now, when I was a kid, you know, it was just really entertaining. But when I watch it now as an adult, I be really thinking to myself, bro, I know so many people that had similar cases to these same people that's on Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, these are people I went to school with. These are people I literally saw every fucking day. And these are people I know I can make a show about. Yeah, I thought about using that CR. That's why I was about to say getting a CRT TV. But that frame meister is like what makes it look crisp and, you know, and good. Yeah, I thought about using that CR. That's why I was about to say getting a CRT TV. But that frame meister is like what makes it look crisp, you know, and good. But yeah, I mean, you know, and I told y'all about that, the stories with all those other people, like AB and Larry and all those, you know, those people I discussed in those other live streams I did. I mean, you know, it just made me think, like, damn, like these dudes literally could have been on these same episodes of Unsolved Mysteries with all these stories and these cases that they really did of shit they really did. It's just that nobody has narrated it the right way. It doesn't have the right production value behind it, and the stories aren't really told from the perspective where, you know, you could kind of see why the criminal became who he was, like what elements were around him that forced him to be, you know, or not if even forced him, but even just influenced him to make those kind of choices that he made. So I feel like, you know, when I used to watch those episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, it kind of just used to make me think about that. And since then, I never really saw a show that elaborated on the characters more than they did the victims. Like they kind of more elaborate on the victims in a lot of shows. And I just started thinking about a lot of people that I knew and stories that I remember when I was like, you know, just basically getting older and stuff. Like it just started making me think about a lot. So this series is gonna be really good. And since you here, Alex, you actually are gonna have first dibs on the first like 2 main episodes. Like basically the first episode is just gonna be an introduction describing, you know, the elements of what's going on. Like we said, me dealing with the rental assistance and the rent problems. I mean, that's like a big problem in these larger cities where, you know, they gentrify and everything. So, you know, all of a sudden you paid $800 3 years ago, and then here it is 3 years later, you paying double that, you know, for the same living conditions you had before. But because the area has, you know, they built more stuff around the area and you getting paid the same at your job, I mean, it really makes it, you know, the conditions a lot harder. So it's, you know, it creates more, you know, people that's going and doing these heinous acts just to try to survive. So the first episode is just gonna kind of talk about that. I might even just use some interviews from other YouTubers and things I know I've seen them talk about, and kind of just you know, like lure people in, you know, let you know what the series is about, let you know, like, you know, why I'm doing this and, you know, all that. And then the very first episode that I'm gonna do, it's gonna be about because that's why I had showed in the image on the right side, it was this guy. And Dane's not in the chat, but Dane knows about him. But when we were in Georgia Southern, it was this guy that had strangled this girl in the apartment complex that my brother had lived in. And I remember at the time, that I think that happened when I first got down there in my first year. This was like 2009. And yeah, he had strangled this girl and killed her. And it was like kind of like this fear that was going on, you know, because niggas didn't know if he was like the damn kid. We used to call him the campus crossing strangler, because you know, like I said, we thought he was, you know, it was just some black guy going around strangling white girls and stuff. Like, you know, we know what was going on, but they had caught the guy, and right now I think he's serving like a life sentence based on that. But this girl's case was on like the ID channel and all kind of stuff. Like it was pretty crazy. But my first episode is gonna be on her, and like I said, kind of elaborating on how, well, a lot of these females be in these situations and they be kind of vulnerable to these guys when they be living alone and stuff. And it's gonna kind of show how a lot of these predators that's existing now, and how that, you know, how basically how a lot of these women need to be able to prevent those type of situations. So that'll be kind of like the premise on that one. But the second episode, this is the one I really want to do second. It's on this guy we knew. This is like another AB, Alex. It was this guy, we used to call him Paint. I might have mentioned Paint before and all. I'm sure I had to have mentioned him before in one of my other streams. But yeah, Paint. Matter of fact, remember when I told you about that fight that my brother had got in that Friday? I was telling you when we were playing San Andreas, and I told him like when we get back, we were gonna try to beat those fight missions. But then when they got back that afternoon, I remember they were saying, you know, some folks was gonna come shoot up my house, and they were looking for where, you know, where I lived at and stuff like that, because you know, it was because he had just got a fight with this dude at school. Well, that dude Paint, that was his brother Laquel that my brother had gotten a fight with. So it's a real interesting story, because it was like Paint had an older brother, and Paint was basically about my age. He was about a year older though, maybe a few months older than me. But I remember like when we were growing up, I mean, I ain't know him like that, but he kind of always had like beef with, you know, folks from our neighborhood. So whenever, you know, it was an encounter, it was always like, you know, some type of fighting or shooting that was involved. But growing up though, I mean, you know, I knew him from when we used to play basketball and shit in school, and I actually was cool with him. But he never was in school. Like, bro was always getting kicked out of school. Like, he was always getting into fights. He was always in alternative school. But I actually was cool with him for the little bit of time that he had went to middle school with us. But anyway, this same guy, like, he was the guy that my brother had fought my brother had fought his older brother, and then that's what led to our friend Larry getting killed that weekend. But that got a little paint. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro was a savage. Like, that's where we get the term like demonology. So instead of it making it seem like he was this, this demon, I mean, we gonna kind of go into why, this guy had became like that. But Paint, just like AB, I mean, dude was a savage. Paint actually was a part of that. Y'all know that y'all know that gang that 6ix9ine was talking about, the Billy Badass Bloods. Paint was like a part of that. Like, somehow, I don't know, I guess, like, because a lot of the guys from California, they had started like they low blood set here in Atlanta. That's what that guy YFA and Lucci was a part of, and then Young Thug was a part of that Sex Money Murder. So maybe somebody in prison came here to Atlanta and put him on with that. But basically here in Atlanta, bro, we got a really, really bad gang problem. About like 10 years ago, like everybody here in Atlanta was claiming like some set of blood, because it was like everybody was coming here from New York, people that's from California coming here. So it had a huge influence. New Orleans, like it was a huge blood influence here in Atlanta. Like everybody was claiming blood. And when we were growing up, Paint was just always a fighter and a shooter. He always was just known to get in the shootouts, known for fighting. But I guess during the time when that blood shit had came here to Atlanta, that's when he got mixed into that. And it was like him and some guys and this girl. Like, basically this is how the guy ended up in prison. But through the years, I guess he was still down there on the south side. He became part of that. But they were known for like going out here and robbing people, from what I saw in his case. But they ended up having a situation where they had a girl that they were using that was basically like prostituting. And she was like going to the house of this one dude where they would just basically use her to go, see Johns and then get money. So I guess they were going to commit a robbery. And, but it sounded like, from the way I had read the documents, like they were just kind of talking about it. But I guess because that guy Paint had saw the opportunity, he took advantage. So they said that, it was one day, I guess, after the guy had seen the girl, and then he was supposed to come back the next day and smoke with her. That guy Paint and I think it was like a few others, they had tried to rob him, and something didn't go right, and then Paint ended up killing the dude and shot him in the back of the head and burned his body and burned the house down. And I don't know if they had caught him right away, but he was in jail for like about at least 3 years until they eventually sentenced him to life plus 35 years. So I'm gonna do a case on him. And like I said, this is a dude I knew. Like I just told you, I used to play basketball with this dude. Used to have issues with folks in my neighborhood, and it's just pretty interesting because he always was like he was always just like angry and shit, I remember. And but he was cool though with me. But he just seemed like he had like he just was literally like this savage, what I'm saying? He looked like it. He's the one that y'all had seen in that American Demonology picture on the left. That was him. But he had a real crazy story, man. So what I'm gonna do in this episode is I'm gonna kind of because I might even try to see if I can get in contact with his brother and get in, kind of see about little stuff in his childhood, because they were from like over there in East Point while we lived in Riverdale. So the little stuff they had going on in East Point, they just basically brought that to Clayton County and made it what it is now. But yeah, he had a real interesting case, man. real interesting case. And when y'all see his story, like it's gonna be y'all gonna be pretty intrigued by this. I'm not even gonna lie. And what I'm gonna do eventually, because I saw what state prison he's in, I'm actually gonna get a rare and in-depth interview, just like how they used to have on Unsolved Mysteries, with him, where he talk about his childhood and and why he probably even did what he did. Because I mean, he just it was strange, because when I read one of the testimonies from one of the guy that he killed, like with one of his the guy's dad was pretty much saying like how gang violence had played like the county so much that, and because the guy never really had no community groups or church groups or anything like that to try to support him, that it just kind of led them, you know, to not really have no hope for society, and it just became these demons, you know, quote unquote. So his story is gonna be really crazy. I'm also gonna do one on AB because, yeah, like I gotta do one on AB. But Paint story, yeah, that's gonna be the one that's gonna go that's gonna be the one that's gonna spark the whole series. It's gonna be like that Queen Mary episode with Unsolved Mysteries. He said the one white guy who chased thieves over some change. Oh yeah, you talking about Mike? Yeah, that boy John McClane. And then also in this American Demonology story series, I'm gonna talk about, you know, even just cases of like, just like how you saw Unsolved Mysteries of miracles, and it might even be a story about a guy who they just, you know, I remember I was watching Unsolved Mysteries one time. It was this dude, he lived in like a boarding house or something like that, and then when he died, they found out the dude had $1 million, and they didn't know. They were like, well, he didn't do nothing but just get up and go to work. He didn't have no kids. He didn't have no family members or nobody to leave his inheritance to, but he just got up and went to work, worked a basic little kitchen job, and just saved money and lived such a rudimentary basic lifestyle that the dude ended up being a millionaire when he died. Like, I want to find stories like that. So even if y'all even know about any stories or any intriguing cases that I could do some research on, just let me know, and let me know, and I could even include them in the episodes. Let me know, and I could even include them in the episodes. I think I need to go to the Yellow Dam. I got so caught up talking, I don't even remember what I was supposed to even do. Why you say I gotta be careful with the interviews? Shit. To be honest, Alex, you'll be surprised. A lot of these boys, you know, it kind of made me think about that Jeffrey Dahmer series. Cause then it was crazy, cause even though he did all that heinous shit, when he was in prison, he was starting to glorify that shit, because everybody outside the prison was talking about his story. So to the point where he was the most popular inmate. So in a sense, it'll make these guys either be to the point where they'll refute what they did, and then they'll want to rehabilitate themselves, or they'll just be like this Jeffrey Dahmer, where you just buy into the marketing and the character of it. Because to be honest, I always looked at the dude Paint like he was damn Freddy Krueger. When I heard his story a couple years ago, I couldn't believe it. I always, like I said, shit. He really is looked at like the damn boogeyman. So I'm like, well, if people want to, you know, every time I look on the internet, they always talking about this King Von and all these motherfuckers from Chicago killing each other. Well, I show y'all some damn stories. You know, I got some stories to talk about, but I'm gonna also tell y'all why these people became the way they are, or the way this society is. Oh no, paint. You. It's funny to say that. Man, that man's serving a life sentence, man. He gonna be happy. He gonna be happy to tell this story. You know how happy he'll be to know that somebody from Clayton County, where he's from, that man probably ain't heard nobody talk about his story since it was on the news 5 years ago. Man, that dude's gonna end up being an internet sensation. You don't think so? Like I said, he gonna probably end up being like Jeffrey Dahmer, how he was in that damn Netflix series when he was in prison. He either gonna rehabilitate, and he gonna use this position that he's in to show people that of his mistake that he made, and how to repent, and how to how to rehabilitate and change yourself. You either go do that, or you'll buy into the figure. Dude, that shit's finna blow this channel up. That's why, like I said, I'm not finna really work on too many reviews like that. I'm about to focus on this. Like, whenever I look on YouTube right now, the most popular videos I'll see and be talking about these Chicago drill rappers and these New York drill rappers and all this stuff. Like, that'd be the most popular shit on YouTube. Motherfuckers want to see people talking about this street stuff, and that's all. And like I said, man, all the years that I've been doing this channel, I always tried to stay away from that, because I'm like, for one, I'm like, it ain't cool to really talk about, because I never really glorified any of that shit. It's a lot of people, like I said, everybody I know is involved. Everybody I know damn near has had a felony on their record. And a lot of the people I know, they don't got no felonies for no drug possession. A lot of them either got it for drug trafficking, or they got felonies for assault charges, robberies. All the years I was doing new game reviews, I've known all these people. Y'all would have never suspected that these are people that I know. What was going on in my life, but this is shit that always been going on around me. I just never really talked about this stuff, because I never wanted to glorify it like that. I never really wanted to display that kind of content on my channel, unless it's in a form of showing people how ignorant and how gruesome something really is. And see, this is my way of like really discovering that now, because over the years I would have never known how to really put this out there like that. But now I'm mature enough, and I've done enough productions to know how to do this the right way. So nah, man, when that man end up seeing this documentary, he gonna be proud to see that shit. Cause ain't nobody probably sending him no money or no letters or none of that shit in there. He probably been in there riding away. Like I said, Alice, that man got a life sentence plus 35 years for that arson he did. That shit really happened. Y'all gonna see all the case information, the news report. Y'all gonna see all that shit when this episode come out. I'm telling you, this episode right here, that shit's finna blow this channel sky high. To the point where everything you've been trying to do and market, it's like now this would be an opportunity to do that, because that's what these motherfuckers want to see on YouTube. They don't want to see my game review. Well, people still want to see the game reviews, but man, people want to see. They want to see this crazy shit. They want to see this crazy shit. So I'm like, oh, I got something for y'all now. The games in the streets, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm an interesting character, because I got the best of both. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to have to live like this, but this is just what's been around me. And like I told y'all, this is stuff I could have been talking about for years and years ago. Shit. It's just I didn't know how to do it, but like I said, I know how to do it now. So it's you gonna really, I'll tell my man, this is gonna be really cool. Because everybody, that heard a street story where, okay, this guy did this, he did that. He either dead or he in prison. But again, nobody really ever elaborated on what caused him to become that demon that we so called, like, you know, label him as, basically. Like, what was the reason of that? Oh yeah, this is definitely real. Hell yeah. But to be honest, my content always has been real, even if it's been scripted with the game review and stuff. I mean, that's always been real. But this is like reality type content, because I don't know, like, I never really liked it TV like that, like as far as like TV shows, because I always don't feel like if it's real, then, you know, like Law and Order, for instance. I never liked Law and Order like that. I'm not saying that it's not a good show. It's just like it's so scripted and it's so dramatically based and dramatically narrated that I don't know, like it's just kind of hard for me to get into it like that. But something like Unsolved Mysteries, they literally are just telling you what happened. I mean, it's a real case. This is a real person that died. So I don't know. I've always been into like real cases and like real TV and like real drama. You know, like, I don't know. Like I used to like watching World's Scariest Police Chases, and I ain't never really like cops like that. I used to watch cops, but like World's Wildest Police videos and World's Wildest Police shootouts, I don't know, I used to love that shit. I used to love watching that shit. But you couldn't get me to sit down and watch an episode of Law and Order, of Power, any of these other shows. You couldn't get me to watch any of that shit. Oh wow. They tried to set him up. He almost became a victim of the Me Too. That's why I couldn't be no college professor. I mean, for one, you're gonna be dealing with a bunch of young women that probably immature as hell. And for two, if you ever turn any of them down, then they could always flip some shit on you. Oh yeah, they gonna get rid of him. If he was guilty of that, or they did find some way to, you know, somehow make him look bad, then yeah, the school would definitely get rid of him. They not gonna have that on their face card. Damn, that's crazy. It's a good thing he slipped out of that, because that would have damaged his career. He would have never been able to teach anywhere. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's why, shit, I don't know. If you're gonna have a certain kind of personality, you better go in a certain type of industry. I used to think that about some of the professors I had. Like a lot of them, you just used to feel like they wanted to just teach, and you know, everything was about educating and all that stuff. But once they realized they were in a university where it's basically about money, and you know, and the college getting as much as they can get out of students, then shit, I remember when I was in college, a lot of the professors were leaving because of that. They were realizing that it was more of a business than it was a damn education institution. Or you could have some that, you know, that get there and shit, they may tell the truth too much, and It might get rid of you because of that. Shit, I remember I had a couple of professors that told us, really y'all are wasting y'all time. I remember when I took this class, Georgia history, the guy gave everybody in the class an A at the end of the year. It didn't matter if you had failed any tests or any of that shit. He gave everybody an A just because he this shit is some bullshit anyway. I mean, it ain't like this shit gonna make a difference for you when you get out of here. So it might as well just give everybody an A. Just enjoy this shit. I mean, that was that guy, Dr. Bryant, man. That was the most realest professor I had, man. He literally had given everybody an A. Everybody was all worried on what grade they was gonna have after some paper and shit at the end of the year. Man, he gave everybody an A, and that was the end of it. So, yeah, that type of industry, yeah, you can't beat yourself. You gotta teach based on an agenda. I know one of the most useless classes that you probably could take in college is Greek history, because that shit it literally was nothing like that. Like, that whole history they teach is just completely wrong. And I got a C in that fucking class. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's pretty cool. At least he was able to manage and stay on. Man, I remember I had a fine professor. Her name was Joanna. I think that was my second to last year before I got out of Georgia Southern. She was fine as hell. I didn't have too many fine teachers in my whole elementary years, middle and high school. But when I got to college, yeah, that white lady that was one of the finest ladies I've ever seen, boy. She was, yeah. That white lady was fine as hell. And she was younger too. She had to be like in her late 30s at that time. You said he boxes, so that's cool. Yeah, dude, I my whole years and like any attractive teachers I had, like I told y'all about Miss Cook when I was in 3rd grade. That was the lady that had farted. She was like, oops. Miss Cook. None in middle school. In 9th grade, I had a teacher, my English teacher, but she used to be a bitch though. She was fine though. What's that lady's name? Miss Connor. Yeah, she taught 9th grade composition. Man, I was so glad I got out that class. Miss Connor, and after her, that was it. Yeah, I didn't have any attractive teachers like that. Maybe that was for the better, because at least I guess I got what I was supposed to get out of the class, since I wasn't sitting there staring at no teacher's boobs all day. Dang, I use all them shits like that. any attractive teachers like that. I don't know if it was because of the times we grew up in and the way the women look, but yeah, I swear to God, I didn't have any attractive teachers growing up. I can literally count on my hand. Who did you see? Who did you see? Just dealing with unreliable people. Don't be an unreliable person, Tommy, please. Unreliable people. Don't be an unreliable person, Tommy. Well, did they do? What were they there? Like, did they give you any information you needed? They do. They there? Did they give you any information you needed? I used to hate doing projects with people when I was in college, man. Cause everybody, it's like everybody would only be doing the bare minimum just so that they could pass, and then you had to do all the damn work. Hated that shit. It don't matter what industry you in. It don't matter if it's in academics or if you're in the professional world. That same structure, what I just said, exists everywhere. Like, especially if you work out here working a job, man. It don't matter what job you go to. If you go there and you doing all the damn work, literally you're gonna get paid the same as the next damn person that ain't doing nothing or doing a third of what you doing. Did all the work. Yep, that's usually how I go. I've been having to deal with that shit since I was in elementary school. That's why that's one of the main reasons I always wanted to have my own business, so that I didn't have to work with somebody and we had to work aside with one another just because we both broke and need some damn money. Whether it been a school project, whether it be me trying to make a production, me getting a job, like I don't know. That's why I ain't never like working with people like that unless I selected them. I used to hate when they would just pair you up with somebody just because y'all names were in the same alphabetical order or some bullshit like that, and this person know that they ain't gonna do shit when they get in the project with you. Or if you always got paired with a broad that just wanted to just use you, you know, for your smarts. That was just that could be just as bad. It's like, shit, bitch, I don't want to think either. Shit, I want to just damn sit there and look good and not think either. What the hell give you the right to damn do it? Yeah, that's one good thing about, or one difference between school and working, is that at least when you working, you know, if somebody doing something that, or if you feel like you doing more than what the next person doing, and y'all working in the same industry doing the same thing, then, you know, if I were you, I would just do less, because in the end, y'all gonna get paid the same anyway. So unless you getting more money than what that person is getting, then I wouldn't do no more work than what they doing. That's how I got fired up there at McDonald's that time. Up there trying to be damn Superman, thinking that I'm gonna go up here and knock all the work, all orders and shit out, and just fucking save the day and clear the screen and do all that shit. If I had been up there just like that dude Larnell, chilling, minding my own business and working, moving at my pace, I probably would have kept my damn job. But because I'm trying to overdo myself and, you know, and please them, I ended up overstressing myself to where I said the wrong damn thing. So that's when I learned, like, shit, if I'm working with somebody and they doing the same amount of effort as what we gonna make sure we doing the same amount of effort, unless it's my project. Now, if it's my project, now that's different. Now I'm gonna do all the work because I'm the one that's gonna get the most benefit from it. Like, for instance, if I'm sitting here working on a review, shit, then I'm gonna do all the damn work because I'm the one that's gonna put it on my YouTube channel. I might have, like I said, I might have used somebody in my review, but at the end of the day, I ain't expecting them to sit there and edit and write the script and, you know, and redo scenes and you know, and worry about all the shit that I'm worried about, because they're not the one that's gonna have it on their YouTube channel. It's going on the SNS channel. So I don't expect them to go through all that's frustration that I will go through when I'm the one that's getting the benefit from it. So I don't expect them to go through all that's frustration that I will go through when I'm the one that's getting the benefit from it. Everybody probably just tell you to get a girlfriend because they just want to see you, you know, living a traditional life. You don't want to be rushing to get not no bar your age. Hell no. I wouldn't even, Alice, I wouldn't even date them if I were you. You know, you should just be living your life, man, and then, you know, enjoying, you know, what you can enjoy, but you got to be learning to build something, and that's what you've been doing these last few years. So you on the right track, man. But I wouldn't be worried about no relationship. That they ain't gonna do nothing but just either slow you down or or it can either slow you down or it can build you up. But most of the time, it's, if you on a path of what you doing, it's gonna probably slow you down. So you might want to just focus on your craft and getting some money, building your empire, and then probably worry about the relationship. It's kind of like the nigga Tony Montana said, like, you know, first you get the money, then you get the power, and then you get the bride. You know, it's kind of like Tony Montana said, first you get the money, then you get the power, and then you get the bride. Yeah, I wouldn't be rushing into that, man. I'm 31 years old and I don't even give a damn about it. So I wouldn't care about that. You know how many times I heard that shit throughout my life? Or why you ain't got hearing that from family members, why you ain't got no kids? Because damn near everybody my age got kids, my age and younger. People just want to see you living a traditional life because, you know, they want things to be familiar with what they know. And when you're doing something in your life that's so different, you know, of such a larger scale, that you just gonna look odd to people. And they'll understand once you start getting the resources, but until then, you just gonna look a little odd to people. You know, that's just a part of the journey. But you know, you shouldn't be worried about no relationship, you know, justifying that, because, you know, a lot of people just they don't like to see a rich man, you know, being able to do what he want. They'll rather see him tied down with a woman, so they'll know that, you know, it's not gonna be as much he can do, you know, as opposed to him being with that woman. He kind of gonna be tied down with, you know, with having to do something. I just think people just are more comfortable seeing that as opposed to seeing you free, where, you know, you can make your own other choices. Oh shit, I forgot. I don't even got this shit. But hell yeah, traditional life is hard to have. It's hard to do basically any fucking thing now, because everything's so goddamn expensive. But you certainly can't have no traditional life with none of these modern women. I mean, they're not even really bred to be in a relationship. They mama couldn't get the damn relationship right. They grandmamas couldn't get it right. So no, like this, You don't need to be worried about that. But I mean, just having a traditional life, period. Just, you know, being able to have a damn apartment, having a car, you know, that shit is hard as hell out here. So even just maintain and have that. Traditional life, period. Just, you know, being able to have a damn apartment, having a car, you know, that shit is hard as hell out here. So even just maintain and have that. Yeah, motherfuckers, you know, they'll be, you know, be realizing that they'll realize like what the whole purpose is. It's like, you know, like shit, if you ain't really got your shit financially together, you really got the privilege to be sitting around talking about no damn relationship. I mean, what you gonna do? Like y'all gonna procreate, you gonna end up having kids that you're not gonna be able to take care of. Shit gonna be harder, you know, more expensive. And that's just gonna lead to folks cheating, and you know, and figuring that they could go do whatever they want to do and just create another situation like that. So yeah, people out here, they don't really have the right advice to give you because they ain't really never seen nobody do nothing successful like that. So shit, I mean, think about how many people you know in your life that literally don't have to work a job. I don't think I know anybody. I mean, even myself, it's like shit. I ain't in no position where I'm fully not able to not do shit. Niggas still got to get up and, you know, work a little cleaning job or whatnot just to have some money in my pocket. But yeah, everybody, you know, they can sit here and judge, you know, have advice for you, but it ain't too many examples of, you know, people that we've seen out here that really are successful like that. Honestly, most people we see, they just, you know, had a pretty decent lifestyle for what they was able to accommodate and do, you know. But yeah, me neither. Shit, everybody I know is working their ass off. You said they are bred to wreck homes. You talking about women? Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, not every type of woman, but I mean, like I said, if you're in a situation where you fucked up and you know, and you need some money, then more than likely you're gonna get a woman that's gonna wreck your home, and she's not gonna be really too good for you, just based on how you living. I ain't gonna lie, Alex, man, a lot of the guys I know right now that's dealing with these women and all these problems, man, they ain't got themselves together financially, man. They out here really hurting, or they out here busting their ass, like you said, just to get the bare minimum. But the feeling and the alleviation of sex is really the only thing that makes them feel like they got some kind of purpose and some type of reason, you know, to get up and do what they doing every day. Yeah, I'm built to be stable. No, not really. Nope. Yeah, I just think it's just all based on, you know, on who you choose. I mean, shit. It's like going into the grocery store. Like, shit. You got a multitude of choices of what you can choose from, but you know, a lot of that shit ain't healthy for you. But you know, you still gonna get it anyway because of, you know, the design of it look nice on the, you know, the potato chip bag, or or like the way that they got the cheesecake looking in the picture or whatever, you still gonna get it even though you ain't supposed to get it. So I mean, I just feel like as I get older, man, like I can't blame all women for the little stuff that some women do, but because like I said, that'll make you, I ain't gonna lie, that'll make you like look at all women like that, and it's not good to do that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that shit make you real disgusting in women, and it make you not trust them. It make you just want to kind of use them for what you can use them for and keep it moving, but you don't want to just look at them like that, because there really are a lot of good women out here that don't be like that. I didn't realize that honestly till I started getting older and dealing with other women and stuff, but it won't be every woman out here that's like that. It's just you just got to put yourself in a good position to where you can meet those kind of women that aren't like that. Now on average, if you a nigga that's out here just trying to get some pussy, then probably are gonna run into a woman like that, honestly. But even if you trying to do the right thing, you probably still might get tricked and finessed. But I just think you just got the best and the most likely choice of what you could do is just to try to get yourself together so you can have a better selection, of what you want to get. Because again, you could be driving down the street, shit, you could either go to Publix, you could go to Save a Lot, or you could go to Whole Foods. I mean, whatever is your choice. But all stores not gonna have the same quality stuff in there. Some stores gonna have better quality things. Whatever is your choice. All stores not gonna have the same quality. Well, see, when you say older, what do you consider older? Because we have different preferences of what we consider older. But yeah, like Bart, that's 21. Oh, I'll be scared of her. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh yeah. Yeah, they are a little bit more stable. That's sad that even a dude younger than me even got to look at a girl that I used to think when I was in my 20s that it was kind of weird for me to like a broad that was like in her 30s and 40s. I just thought that was like a weird fetish to me. But it's so bad now. I understand it. It's like, because yeah, the same way I felt, about the girls at that time. That's what probably y'all feel, but times 20, because it's even worse now. So I can't even blame you for wanting a bar that's like that much older. I'm just glad I'm at the age now where it don't seem so weird. They don't even do it in college. To be honest, they just in college because their parents, told them they got to find something they need to do. And they know they didn't want to go work a regular job. So, they probably was able to, score decent on the SAT. And that's how they able to get in. Be honest, I didn't even know why I was in college until I started Scorpio&Sebek. Like that was my 3rd year in, right? 4th year. I was in there for 6 years. Yeah, like shit. Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing. That was until my 3rd year going into my 4th year. third year, going into my fourth year. But one thing I can say that I was doing different from every student is that I was working. And I ain't saying just working on job, trying to get some money, but I was building my craft. I was learning how to edit. Like I said, I was learning how to do the reviews. Like I was working my ass off with that shit at that time. Now, that's what I'm thinking. Like now, I still have that same enthusiasm, but and that same work ethic is still here. But it's just like I want to do it so differently, because back then it was just more just experimenting. Like I said, a lot of my reviews, especially my first 10 reviews, that was just all me experimenting and trying to figure out how to edit and how to do what I thought I was imagining to the frustrated game reviewer thing to be. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think I would have gone to college regardless, because I didn't want to stay up here in Atlanta like this. If I had graduated high school, I would have stayed up here, maybe in this side of town I'm on now. But I didn't know anybody I would have been able to live with, so I had to get out of Atlanta for one. But if I had someone I could have lived with, no, I wouldn't have wanted to be here, because first of all, I had a pretty decent GPA when I left high school. So I would have been thinking to myself, bro, you got to at least get a 2-year associate's degree if you ain't gonna get a 4-year degree. I mean, or get a certificate or something. So I would have gone to college regardless. Like I would have at least did 2 to 4 years, I think. Cause I don't know. It just seemed like high school was pretty simple for me. So, the next thing was to at least go to college and see how that worked out. I knew I just knew going into college, my first 2 years, I thought that I was going to be able to do something financially with that degree. But by my third year, that's when I realized, like, bro, you're probably not going to be able to do nothing with no history degree. So you're going to have to figure out some type of business or something that you could do instead, because at least you'll be able to generate some income off of that. And then you need to try to figure out how to blow this Scorpio&Sebek thing up. I realized that my third and fourth year, I remember, because I realized I had been doing game reviews for 2 years. I had learned how to edit, and I realized that's what I really wanted to do. This is what I really want to do. I don't really want to do anything, that got to do with history, because the only thing I could have done was either become a curator, where I would have had to wait 50 years for somebody to die and get that job, or I would have had to go be a teacher, which I certainly wouldn't have been able to do, because I never wanted to do that. So I don't know, when I wanted to go to school for history, I used to always wanted to be like those people on the History Channel, like the people that made those documentaries I used to watch on Hitler and and fucking Napoleon and all these figures and stuff that used to be on those old school history channel documentaries. I used to want to like be one of those people that made that documentary. So that's why I went to school. And it's funny because I remember I took a class, and it was a guy who was a history professor. He taught public history, and he also was a filmmaker. I remember the guy told me, he said, Chase, I could tell that you're gonna be a filmmaker. I don't know why you're doing this history thing. I see a filmmaker in you. And this dude was saying this to me. He didn't even know me, but he was seeing that. He was telling me that because he saw it, and he basically saw what I'm getting ready to do now with this demonology, because this is really a culmination of why I went to school for the history to shit, because it showed me how to do research, and it showed me how to really like show things in a chronological order, and how to really show things from a certain narrative. Because that's all history really is just being able to tell stuff from a certain narrative point. So that's what I learned, and that's what I got out of that degree of doing that shit. So now I'm about to do this documentary and all this other stuff, which I'm about to get paid for. This is what I had to go through, I guess. But yeah, I think I would have went to school anyway, because I always like learning, to be honest. I always like expanding my it kind of looks stupid that I don't like learning, and my mom was a damn teacher. You know, that looks kind of bad, to be honest. So I just always like learning, and I probably would have ended up going to school anyway. I never really gave a shit about the money shit, because like I said, I knew the only way I was gonna be able to financially succeed out here was to have my own business. And I knew that just wasn't gonna come through college, because they basically teach you how to go out here and get a job. So yeah, I think I probably still would have went to school. Now, I don't think I would have taken out a loan. I think I would have probably got my 2-year associate's degree and just called it a day. If I ain't have the money to get the 4-year shit, I just wouldn't have gotten it. Because that shit was expensive as hell, man. Right in bitch ass talking about we gotta possibly pay it back. I'm like, they might as well just cancel the shit, because ain't nobody got the money to pay for the damn thing. People barely can pay rent. So what in their right mind think that this generation of people gonna pay a student loan? That's crazy. Just get rid of the shit. I mean, like I said, it ain't like you gonna get no money out of the degree anyway, so might as well let you go to school for free. You ain't if you're not majoring in some kind of medical shit or technology or whatever, yeah, you pretty much are fucked out here. I'm glad I saw that shit when I was about 20 years old. I remember one day I just went, I'm all cursing like a motherfucker. Like, what am I doing here? Like, what's the point of this shit? I'm about to just have to get out here and work at McDonald's. Like, the fuck am I doing here? I remember one day calling her. I was about 20 years old. I was about to turn 21. Confused. I remember. I never forget that. And boy, was I right. I have the heal all myself. Soldiers. Oh, we good. I generally do not remember where I'm supposed to go. I know the first dam was like the blue dam. And I believe it was up to the left and the right somewhere. Yeah, that research ability of what I do, I'm not gonna lie, Alex, that shit I learned from, I don't know if it's too many other people when I was in college that had their history, that was in my history program, that learned that skill of knowing how to do research, but that shit has made me a lot of money. It's, you know, in terms of me knowing how to get assistance, in terms of me knowing how to get maintenance contracts and cleaning contracts, it really has stemmed from the same foundation of what I had to do when I was in the damn classes doing research. Knowing just how to find information and, you know, get into the meat of things. Yeah, that's a skill doing that. Because a lot of people don't know how to do that. I know how to do that with just about anything. Yeah, I can honestly attribute that to all that damn research we had to do when I was in college, researching the fucking German Franco-Prussian War. Researching that when I had to look at that case with that guy had remember it was the Kent State shooting. I remember I actually had spoke to one of the guys that got shot because my professor knew him. Yeah, that Kent State shooting, that was like a big case. I remember like in like every history class I took, like they always would talk about that. Out there protesting that Vietnam shit. That was like a big case. I remember like in like every history class I took, like they always would talk about that. That was their protesting that Vietnam shit. Yeah, I had to do a lot of research on that stuff and all. Like, yeah, that skill of doing that, yeah, that saved my ass, man. I you know, I done learned. I've been able to get a lot of resources using that skill. And see, that's the little stuff you got to learn from being in college. It's like learning how to take those little nuances and little techniques and stuff that you have to learn from certain classes and being able to figure out ways to apply that shit when you get out of that thing. And the number one skill I learned in college though was from those writing courses. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the history was a part of the writing thing, but the writing showed me the structure of how you do stuff, and that structural way of how I learned from those writing courses. I use that every day with my stuff, my business, and everything I do. The Scorpio&Sebek stuff, all that. I can honestly say, yeah, those writing courses that was the most important classes I took in college. They were better than any business class I took, any of that stuff, any history class. Yeah, the writing classes were the most important. Glad as hell I took them shits. Cause you gonna write a bunch of shit in any of those courses, but do you really know the structure on how to write? Because if you know how to write, you can write a lot more into what you're doing, as opposed to if you don't know how to write. If that makes sense. And that's how I've been able to make my reviews better. I can honestly say from when I wasn't taking writing courses as opposed to when I had taken writing courses, I even saw an improvement in my reviews. I can honestly say from when I wasn't taking writing courses. What you said you'll never do what to your mom? Oh, you said when I was cursing with my mom? Hell yeah, I was fucking livid because I was just wondering like why am I here? Because you got to think, my mom was, all my life I've been told I got to go to college. You got to go to college, but I'm like, damn, this shit ain't doing nothing for me. I got to get out of here and work a regular job. I had already foreseen everything that I'm dealing with right now. I had foreseen that when I was like 21, and I don't know, I wasn't liking like what I was seeing. It kind of scared me, to be honest. And I remember I called her that day. I was going off. Hold on, I gotta take a piss. Oh yeah. He said when I was writing for that little porn site. I forgot. Yeah, I did do that. That shit didn't pay shit, but I do have that experience. I forgot about that. That's funny, y'all. You be remembering all these stories. That's funny, y'all. Yeah, basically, it kind of was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That summer, I kind of had needed the money because I wasn't working or doing shit. So I was actually thinking it was gonna be enough income for me to live off of. But if I remember right, it was like fucking 100 sites I had to write for, and I got paid like 20 cents each site. So it equivalated to like nearly like $30 or something like that. It wasn't that much money. But like you said, it was just something cool to do, and it kind of just gave me something to do when I was down there that summer. Because like I said, you couldn't get a job for shit down there. So you know, $20 like was like fucking $100 down there. So yeah, I treated that shit like it was a job at that time because I didn't have shit else going on. Because that was in the summer of 2014. So I had needed the money so that I could get that equipment that I got now, so I could start working on Mr. Clean. That's what I was trying to do. Because I think I had just did that Scarface review. That was the last review I had did a couple of months prior to that. And I told myself after I did that, because it was taking so long on my old computer, I said I can't edit on this computer no more. I told myself I gotta get a new computer. I gotta get a new computer, and I gotta get a new camera. I told myself this is the last review I'm gonna do with this camera, and it was. It sure was. And it was the last review I edited with that laptop, because shit, that next year, I came back up here. That's when I started working, and that was one of the first things I bought when I started working was a new laptop. The same one I'm using right now. Yeah, it was like 100 websites. I remember it, yeah. It was like a list. It was like a whole list of like about 100 domain sites I had to write for. Yeah, man, them laptops, you know, I thank God with mine. I mean, I'm probably gonna get me well, my boy Dane, he actually built me a computer. I'm just gonna get a monitor for it, but that's gonna be the new computer I'm gonna use for my editing and stuff whenever he could bring that here. But yeah, after he give me that, I'm probably gonna just look to probably modding my own PCs after this, because yeah, laptops and all this stuff, they're cool, but it's kind of better when you do have your own modded PC. You just have more options of stuff you could do. But I got lucky with this laptop, because it's never given me. I've had this now for about going on 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years, and it hasn't given me any problems since I had it. It's been updated, ain't slow or none of that. I got real lucky. They don't even make this brand in Toshiba anymore. So if I were to get a new computer, I don't even know what brand I'm gonna get. Okay, glad you told me that, because I've thought about that. I was thinking about getting an HP, but I didn't hear too many good things about them. Plus, my friend, she got like 3 HPs I'm looking at right now that I've been trying to fix for her, and none of them shits really work well. And they got the Windows 10 operating system and everything. that's what's up. Yeah, I remember my boy James that played the silent guy in the Scorpion King review. He used to have a Toshiba, and I just used to notice how much shit he was able to get done with it. That's why I was like, oh, I need to get me one of those. But that was back in 2014. Like I said, I don't even think they make, like, they definitely don't make this version of Toshiba anymore, but I don't even know if they still even make good computers like that. Yeah, like I don't like Dell keyboards. My friend, she got this touchscreen one. That thing's crap. The older ones, like, you know, are kind of bushy and shit. I don't know. Yeah, the computer I had before this was a compact, and the compact basically was a cheaper version of the Toshiba. And that damn shit still was $500 at the time. But that compact used to give me hell, man. That shit had, I remember it had Windows, what was it called? Windows Movie Maker on there. That was the first editing software I used, man. That shit used to be so basic. You couldn't do shit on that damn thing. That shit didn't have no color corrector. That was really A1. That shit didn't I just didn't know. I didn't like that shit. It just was nothing like what I use now. But it worked though. I'm not gonna lie, man. Windows Movie Maker, that shit worked for the time. It used to suck trying to render audio and video together, because it used to just get so slow. Like if you brought in, like, or if you tried to adjust any type of audio files and then you adjusted the image. I remember now it did have yeah, because I'm thinking I always had a color corrector for my videos. I ain't never want to edit my videos without that. Yeah, it had it, but it just used to render so damn slow. Like whenever you added all these presets to the audio and video clips, that shit used to get slow as hell, man. It would just make the project hard to finish. I don't remember who got what key. I would assume it's me. You said you use Windows 10. Yeah, I still use Windows 10. Movie Maker 3D used to be the thing. You can animate models. I never could really figure that shit out. I need to probably try it, but I could never really figure it out like that. Cause I could use that. I could use that to track motion and maybe, you know, do some type of like crazy I could do some real crazy effects with that 3D animator. I'm gonna have to learn that shit. Track motion and maybe, you know, do some type of like crazy I could do some real crazy effects with that 3D animator. I have to learn that shit. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, Windows 11 is all right. Keep really making the same shit over and over at the Windows 7. I remember when I first got my laptop, I was worried if it was going to have Windows 7 on it still. Nope, it had Windows 10. I can't even express to you how happy I was that day I got this thing. I think one of the first programs I put on there at that time was my Windows Movie Studio. Sony Vegas Studio Platinum. I had the Platinum version. I didn't even have the Pro version like I got now because that shit was $400. And then when I first got that shit, that was when I got my COVID check. I was so happy to get that Pro version. Then I realized the only difference between the Pro version and the Platinum version was the little masking tool. That's it. I think Death Trap Dungeon was the first review I did. I edited with that Pro version. Do I have a key for this shit? Cause I thought I got a blue card key or something. Oh damn. Yeah, I had to look at that shit on I'm on a walkthrough or something. Yeah. We almost 2 hours in. Shit. I just kind of wanted to get on here, let y'all know what I got going on for the channel. As you see, Alex, usually be the only one in the stream to get all the meat and juices to everything. As you see, I got some really, really good stuff planned. I've been kind of working on this little script for this first episode for that demonology series. So, just kind of getting y'all set up for that. I'm still, like I said, gonna be live streaming. Have some different games to stream. Actually, some more PlayStation 1 games that I've been thinking about doing. So stay tuned for that. Definitely it's gonna be coming in the next couple of weeks. We gonna get through this. Like I said, this is the first time I played this game probably since I was doing the maintenance work. So we gonna continue this and get back to where we were earlier this year when I was able to get through that snow cave, and we got through Noah, and we were about to go through the final cave of the game, but I accidentally had oversaved that file. So we're gonna get back to that point. We gonna get into Crusaders, because like I said, that's done. So I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna make sure I complete that review at least for 2023. I'm gonna probably have that done in January. And then we're gonna work on some more stuff, Xena, a bunch of other reviews, and then we got the demonology series. So it's gonna be a lot of big stuff coming in these next couple of months, and I definitely need to be more active on this channel. If y'all have any suggestions, as usual, let me know in the comment section, or any old videos. Since you can't mail people directly, I don't know why you can't send a message directly on YouTube like you used to be able to. But if y'all ever needed to email me or anything, the email is Scorpio11Sebek@gmail.com, or you could email Scorpio&Sebek@gmail.com. The and is A-N-D, instead of ampersand. But if you ever need to email anything to me, you can always email it through that, since we don't have the message shit on YouTube like we used to. And that will be for like any suggestions for reviews, of course, any suggestions for like demonology episodes that I'm gonna have in the future. Like I said, live streams for different games I could be doing and other stuff. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, you said to get FL Studio, Boost Music, get the children, super clean. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I don't be trusting that FL Studio shit. Some of them programs, like you know, honestly, if I don't purchase it, I don't even, if it don't have an actual disc, I don't even be trying to fool with it like that too much. But dang, that sucks. Yeah, I don't torrent. I don't do none of that shit no more. That's also what ravaged my old computer from torrenting so many movies and stuff. But yeah, like the email again. What's my email in here? That's also ravaged my old computer from torrenting so many movies and stuff. But yeah. Because I got like 3 different email accounts. Yeah, Scorpio&Sebek11@gmail.com. That's if you ever need to email me anything, or if you ever wanted to send me a message or something, or any of that. The email account again is Scorpio&Sebek11@gmail.com. Because that's the Scorpio. I got an email account for Sebek Houdini. That I think that email is on. It's Sebek11 Houdini, I believe, at gmail.com. But for the Scorpio and Sebek Universe channel, it's Scorpio_Sebek11@gmail.com. If y'all ever need to email me for anything, since we don't have the messenger shit on YouTube like we used to. So that's that. I'm probably gonna jump in. I might try to jump on tomorrow. If you guys, got nothing going on, I'll jump on tomorrow, elaborate a little bit more on the demonology episodes I got, and keep y'all updated. But stay tuned and continue to watch out for the lives. If I go live, I'll let y'all know on the community thing on the channel. And stay tuned. So I'll catch y'all later.